internet.
We're on the right internet. And we're live.
We're 2 minutes late, but y'all understand.
We are live. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning.
August the 24th. Wow. This month is almost over.
This month zoomed by, I
It
believe.
really did. Now, some of you may not feel that way, but I feel like August was super fast.
Really fast, just like that.
Like, as a matter of fact, I came down with a system that I decided would work for my milk.
Yeah.
For my milk in the, from the goats.
Right.
I put it in the 2-quart mason jars, and then on the lid, I write the date because if not, they all look alike, and you don't know which ones. I said to myself initially, okay, I'm gonna remember this top shelf. That was the one I did yesterday. Well, then the next day I'd be like, was the bottom shelf or the top shelf the one? So I started writing a date on the top because I can just take alcohol and wipe it off. And I feel like yesterday I was writing the 10th.
And that's the 22nd.
24th.
24th.
24th. Yep.
24th.
Yep. Happened fast.
Happened fast. So fast that September 14th is going to be here before you know it.
That's right.
If you guys don't know, I guess most of y'all do, but September 14th will be the Great Fall Festival. It Pedals from the Past. It's completely free. We will be there.
Yes.
And a bunch of our friends will be there. And it's going to be classes, and it's going to be a great time.
It is. I'm not teaching any classes because I can't do anything. Not that those people can. I can't teach any classes. How's that?
You could do a tractor driving.
Oh, that's about all I could do.
You could do a tractor driving or goat milking.
No, not goat milking.
No, you could take Capri.
Jason.
Don't take Capri.
I would be laughed at. I have mentors for that. And unfortunately, Laura won't be there that day.
Laura's not going to be there?
No, she has a
I didn't know Laura.
Pre-engagement.
I didn't know that. I thought she was teaching a soap making class.
If I'm not mistaken, she's got the goodness, I shouldn't have said that. I think that she's got a prior engagement.
Okay.
If I'm not mistaken.
Pretty
sure.
10-4. Oh, what else is going on?
Well, it's a little cool breeze in the air this morning.
I tell you, in the mornings, it feels wonderful. Come about 10 o'clock, 10:30, it starts creeping on up. But in the mornings, it has felt so good.
It has. It's a little touch of fall, just wants to trick us for a couple hours and make us think, you can get on a project, but then you want to quit that project.
She's teaching at the Alabama folk school that day.
Can't. Okay, I'm not going to try to say what it was. I can't remember what it was, but I just know she had a prior engagement.
I got you.
And I hate she can't be there, and I'm sure she does too. But it is what it is.
It is what it is. Well, you know what she could do?
What?
She could send Mac and Chip over there, and put her soaps out there, and they could work her booth for her while she teaches school.
All right, Laura, you follow up with this, okay? Yeah. I think she might do better with the video screen, just an honor box. And no offense to those fellas, but they probably couldn't tell you a couple of things about soap making.
I don't know. Mac and Chip could probably, they could at least run her booth for her.
They could take money. Yeah. They could hand out products. But she better wait till April or the next September.
Oh my goodness. Oh me.
So what you got planned for today?
Well, Mary Carl wanted to go canoeing as of yesterday.
Yeah.
She wanted to go canoeing this morning. We'll see.
Well, yesterday we told her to get her school done and decide what she wanted to do.
Mm-hmm.
And we had to go to town, do a few things, and we got back, and she decided that it was just too late in the day to do anything because it was like, 3 o'clock?
Yeah, and it got pretty hot.
So her plan was to go to Harrison Lake this morning before it got too hot and see what birds are there for migration.
Yeah, because the great fall migration has begun.
It has begun.
It has begun. As a matter of fact, I showed you, it was like August the 18th or 19th. They were estimating 203 million birds to fly over that evening. That's crazy.
And you're supposed to turn all your lights off.
Turn your lights off because they use the stars and yeah.
And the bright lights can mess them up. So
crazy.
Yeah, it is.
Blows my mind. Blows my mind. You know, the other day, I think it was the last live that we talked about sprinkles.
Mm-hmm.
And
you couldn't find a picture of her?
I couldn't find a picture of her. And then yesterday or day before yesterday, it popped up in my memories. And Sprinkles was
a horse.
And she was our Arabian. And this was Sprinkles.
That was Miss Sprinkles.
She was a pretty girl.
She was pretty. Well, is a pretty girl. She's still alive.
That's right.
She was quite muscular.
Yeah, she was. You know what? I forgot how muscular she was until I saw that picture.
She kind of looks like a little.
Yeah, she's been working out.
Well, I was trying to think of a female name for Schwarzenegger, but I guess I'll just say DJ Arms.
She's been working out like DJ.
She's been working out like DJ.
Oh, goodness.
Yeah, she was a sweet girl.
Yeah.
They saying Sprinkles is gorgeous.
She was. She is. I keep saying was, but she is a beautiful, beautiful girl. Talking about canoeing, there's a certain bird Mary Carl's looking for.
A piping plover.
A piping plover. She is. I bet I've heard that 100 times this week. A piping plover.
Piping plovers may be there, and there's only like 2 weeks out of the whole year that there's a possibility they could be there. But, you know, I mean, they say 2 weeks, but of course we've seen things out of
right.
That's right. You know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
Yeah.
So a piping plover. If you don't know what that is, you may have to Google that one.
Do you remember there was a little short film at the beginning of some movies, and it was about Piper.
Yes,
that was a piping plover.
It was a little cartoon,
and it was just heartfelt. Even if you didn't like birds, it was a little sandpiper looking bird that would run down the beach and get his little, snail or whatever he was after, and then run back up. And it was a cute little. That's a piping plover.
Yep,
just a cute little. They all look the same to me.
All those little similar
plovers, sandpipers,
sandpipers.
She would say no, but
no.
To me, they all look the same.
Uh-oh.
Jason, you are not on Do Not Disturb.
Do Not Disturb.
I am.
Now, sorry. I don't know if it came over or not.
Well, it didn't come on the screen.
Okay, good. But yeah, we'll go out there and she'll either say that's a least or greater or lesser or yellow leg or steel. There's all types of those sandpipers.
Michael said it wasn't him. Good, Michael. I wanted to ask who it was, but I did not.
No, it wasn't Mike.
No. So I saw something this morning that hit my heart. And I don't know this young man. I don't know anything about him, but I know that it was the school that Mary Carl previously attended, Morgan Academy in Selma, and there was a football player injured, and he was airlifted last night. And hopefully, I didn't see any updates, but hopefully that young man is recovering this morning. He needs all the prayers and good vibes and heartfelts that he can get.
I haven't seen that this morning.
Well, I just, just wanted to share that because looks like he needs it. And I don't even know what happened. I just know that he was airlifted playing football.
That's so scary.
Yes.
So scary. So I guess most of y'all saw the video of me wrestling with the scratching post. That was a fun event. Absolutely fun. I had so much fun that day doing that.
Well, I had no idea that that's what he had planned to do for the day. I had a doctor's appointment and I got a text about close to lunch.
Yeah.
Said that he had 6 inches to go or something like that. And he hit what he thought was a rock. So my advice to him was to stop
Yeah.
and make that his video because we're human and things happen. I didn't hear anything back. Not a word. Nothing back. No love, no light. And I got home and the scratching post was in the ground.
I wasn't gonna let it get the better of me.
But I'm gonna say this. I'm glad he did it when I wasn't here. Because I remember putting it in the first time.
Man, y'all. It was rough. It was rough. I actually, what's funny is when I was recording that video, I really did not know how much time had gone by. And when I looked and I told y'all it had been 2 hours, it had really been 2 hours and I had no idea. But I should have known because I was on my second battery.
You should have known.
I should have known because I was on my second battery. And typically when I do a video, I cut the camera on and off. But when I'm doing something like that, the camera's just rolling.
Right.
Because, I'm not, I just set it up and I'm going, I'm working.
And then you use your editing skills to take out what you don't need.
Took out a lot. And when the whole thing was done, in my mind, I had about 8 to 12 minutes worth of footage, and that's my video wasn't going to be very long. And I know that most people like the longer videos. And you worked all day and you got a little short video.
Well, besides that, you didn't accomplish anything if you had stopped right then.
Well, if I had stopped right then. But even though when I was done,
okay.
Even with me getting it in the ground, I thought this video is gonna be short and sweet. And then when I got in and got about 3/4 of the way edited, and I saw that I was fixing to hit 30 minutes, I was like, this video is gonna be long. I had no idea. Matter of fact, when I got finished with it the first time, it was 35 minutes long.
Wow.
It was 35 minutes long, and I always rewatch them. And then I try to look at it like, a viewer would. And I call it fat. I saw some fat I had to trim out. And so I trimmed that out. And when I got through doing that, it dropped it to 30 minutes long. And I could not believe it. Could not believe that video was 30 minutes long. And I tell you, that happens to me. I don't want to say a lot, but a little bit. Is it you're filming, and as you're filming, I'm in my mind, I'm thinking how this is going to look and how I'm going to edit it. And I'm thinking I don't have near enough, because I think most people like the longer videos.
Yeah.
For the most part. And some days you can't get it.
Yeah.
Some days we record and when you get through, it's 15, 18 minutes long. But you try to hit that 20 to 30 minute mark if you can. And there's some days I think I don't have anything. And when I get through editing, it's 30 minutes. That happens a lot.
Well, that's when you put a smile on your face.
It does. It does put a smile on my face. Because, it's a great relief.
Well, when we started talking about me doing videos, I knew that there was no way in the world that I could even attempt to edit. That was off the charts. And I thought to myself, there's no way Jason can edit it because he spends too much time and it would just take away from his, what little bit of free time he has. So the idea was that Mary Carl was going to edit. Well, that didn't last very long because it wasn't something that she was interested in doing.
She thought she was.
She thought she was, but once she started,
I knew it wasn't going to work.
But I didn't know it wasn't going to work. I really thought that it was going to work. And so when Jason started editing my videos, I made him promise me that he would not spend the time on my video that he does on his.
Mm-hmm.
And lo and behold, he doesn't. Mm-hmm. And I'm so thankful for that, because if not, I wouldn't be doing videos. I mean, there's no way I could do them if you had to spend the critique time. Yeah. But I think it's because it's me. It's me doing the video. And so you don't feel that you have to fix everything that's not perfect to you.
Right.
And I don't ever see it, so I don't know what it looks like.
You don't have a clue.
I don't have a clue.
You don't have a clue. And it kind of gives two different
aspects.
Yeah, and it's two different channels.
That's right.
It's not the same.
Well, it's just stuff that I would be doing, anyway. So why not pick up a camera, and if somebody enjoys it, that's great.
That's right.
If you don't want to watch it, you don't have to.
Yep.
But don't say anything negative.
No negative Nancy.
No, well, don't say that either.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say that.
No.
Don't want to make any Nancy's mad at me.
That's right. That's right. You have to choose your words wisely. First thing in the morning, anyway.
Oh, man.
Later on, you can do what you want to.
Oh, but yeah, the scratching post was fun. I had a lot of people give me some advice afterwards, which is great. I mean, I love to hear different things I could have done differently. I tried to explain in the video though, but that pose about, and y'all, I did think about getting a T-post driver. I did. But I measured the diameter of the pole.
And it was way bigger?
It's too big.
But it would have started the hole for you.
No, the plunge, it wouldn't have got on it.
No. I'm saying you could have drove a T-post in and then pulled the T-post out, and that would have given you a power.
Well, I thought about that, once I hit that spot.
Yeah.
But I couldn't get that thing back out.
Yeah, but see, if I had been here, I'd have made you drive a T-post to begin with. Oh. Not that it might have made it no difference whatsoever, but that would have been my thinking. Drive a T-post, pull the T-post out, and then you'll have a little bit of a starter.
Well, the ground felt pretty good. It really did. And I guess because the cows have been over there a lot, I don't know. The ground was really in that area felt pretty good. And, as I was going down, the way that thing works, it's got that bit on it. And when it catches, it's going to bore itself down there. And it couldn't dig the hole, and then refilled it, put that back in there.
It would have been walled out too much.
Been, yeah.
And that's why I thought about the T-post, because it was smaller than the actual.
Yep.
But needless to say, we're not putting in another one like that.
No.
That one's done.
And
it is a real cow scratching post, whereas the rest of them that we put in were sweeper brushes that were used in roadside, that the bristles weren't as good as what they wanted them to be anymore.
Yeah, they wear down.
So we set a 4x4 post for those, and then just put the brush on the top of it, which worked out fine. But with Big Moody and Big Mildred scrubbing on it, it needed to be a cow design post.
Yeah, we already had it.
We
already had it.
We already had it. So.
And those things are super expensive.
And our cows seem to really like it.
Yeah, they do like it. They really do like it. Yeah, it was a mess. And the sledgehammer at the end was a total. I was throwing up a Hail Mary.
Did it work?
With 1 second left to go in the football game, and you're on the 45-yard line, and I'm just chunking it up. Yeah, it worked.
The sledgehammer worked.
Yeah, it got it where it would go down.
Huh. So it wasn't a rock that you hit, or you had to get it out and move it?
No, What happened was it was hitting something hard, and it sounded like rocks. And I didn't know how big the rock was. And so I figured maybe if I tapped it with that sledgehammer,
it busted up.
It may crack it and that's what happened.
Oh, so you left it in that same hole and just went down.
Yeah, because I couldn't get it to come back out.
I saw somebody commented. I like to periodically just read the comments. I don't watch the video, but I read the comments. And somebody said, Moody wants it moved over 10 inches to the left. I got a good giggle out of that. Moody can just have to have his post right where it is.
That's right. I saw several people, and I remember this so vividly when we first put it in. And that is, so Brooke had this great idea of attaching it to the auger some kind of way.
Yeah.
And I saw several people say that. And I don't know how in the world you would ever do that, because the hookups aren't even.
But that's how my mind works, is we will have better luck trying to hook this thing to the auger than we will trying to do it ourselves.
And then the auger don't even spin straight with the auger on there. I mean, it does like this, and I can only imagine what it would do with that on it and how safe that would be, especially when it hit. And
Well,
then
I'm one of those people that safety probably doesn't come first. It should, but it doesn't always. Now, when I'm driving, of course, I wear my seatbelt and stuff like that. But I'm talking about when thinking about outside the box.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about how to get that post in the
I was
ground.
definitely thinking outside the box.
Well, I'm going to say it again. I'm just glad I wasn't here, Jason.
Oh,
I was, we had contemplated several times, we need to get that post in the ground.
Yeah.
We need to get that post in the ground. I had no idea you were planning to do it that day. And y'all, I had a doctor.
I really wasn't. I woke up and it was cloudy. It was so cloudy that morning. And it felt, 10 degrees cooler. The wind was blowing. And I said, this would be the perfect time to get that in there, because if I'd have tried that.
Because you didn't have to listen to Brooke say, hook the auger to it. That's probably what it was.
Oh, but if I'd have tried that when it was sun shining and it took that long,
you'd have quit a long time ago.
Oh my gracious.
So my doctor's appointment was at 11 o'clock in Birmingham.
Yeah.
And you never know what traffic's going to be. So I left at, my doctor's appointment. Yeah, it was at 11. So, excuse me, I left here at 9 o'clock to make sure that I was there in plenty of time. Get to the doctor, saw the doctor, ordered lab work, which I had to go downstairs, and there's windows all around, and it was pouring down rain. And I looked at the radar because it was cloudy that day. And I'd already looked at the radar, but there was no rain on the radar. And I was like, oh my gosh. Well, of course, I'm not going to melt in the rain, but I did park all the way across the parking lot. So I was like, I looked at the radar and I sent Jason a text and I told him it was pouring down rain in Birmingham. And I couldn't believe it. So it didn't rain here.
But I heard it. I even said in the video, I said, I can hear the thunder, and it was getting dark north.
But, where I was.
It didn't do anything here. Nothing.
It come pretty good rain there. So much so that I ran to my car. When I got in my car, there was a rain jacket. And I was like, oh my gosh, how lucky am I? Because there's never a rain jacket in my car. But guess what? It was in the very back. And I had the car in park. I turned around and I looked at the jacket and I turned back around. I said, in order to get that jacket, I got to go outside the car and go open the hatch. I'm going to get even more soaking wet trying to do that. Or I could just crawl through.
Yeah, climb through.
And then I said, 1976. That's my birthday. I said, I was not born in 96. I was born in 76. And there ain't no way I can crawl through that back of that car and get that rain jacket. So I was about starved because I didn't eat anything before the appointment. And here it was after 12 now.
Yeah.
Pouring down rain. Couldn't get to the rain jacket. And I drove around and I was in a parking lot full of restaurants. But I had one in particular that just kept standing out. And that's a taco place that Jason and I both enjoy. It's called Taco Mama.
Taco Mama.
And there's several locations, but this one was right there. So, of course, being 12 o'clock, there was no parking spots. So I drove around, and there was a Culver's. And we've talked about Culver's before on here. Culver's sells fish. They sell chicken. And I thought, well,
hamburgers.
Butter burgers. So I thought, well, they got a drive-through. I'll just go there. Well, I had no idea what was on the menu. And I really wanted something that was good for me. I try to eat right. And as I'm looking at the menu while I'm sitting in the drive-through in park, there wasn't anything really healthy. All the fish was fried. The hamburgers, I just got out of the line. And I said, I'm going to go to Chipotle next door. Chipotle only had handicap parking in the front. And the ones that were not handicapped were taken. Still pouring down rain. No, I'm not going to Chipotle. I start driving back around Taco Mama. And I said, if it's meant for me to eat at Taco Mama, somebody's going to back out of the parking spot. Lo and behold, y'all, right in front of Taco Mama.
Right there.
A car backed out and I pulled in and I put a smile on my face and I went in there, but I was soaking wet and it was freezing.
Oh gosh. I bet it was cold.
Yeah. And I ate my lunch and I enjoyed it.
Did you get fish tacos?
I did. Well, no, shrimp. Blackened shrimp.
Grilled shrimp.
It was so good.
Mm-hmm.
So good. I didn't eat the chips and salsa that came with it, but it was so good. Somebody said, why didn't I get something?
Why don't you get a smaller auger bit for your tractor?
Oh, I thought they were talking about the fish.
Oh.
Sorry. Yeah, we have the smallest bit that they make.
No, they make them smaller. They go to 4.
But it still wouldn't have helped.
But I mean, that would be the only thing we would use it for, would be that.
Yeah, we're done putting
We're done putting that thing in.
Yeah.
Done putting it in.
Done putting it in.
Mm-hmm. That's when we got a 6-inch bit for the 4-inch
wooden post.
Wooden post.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah.
But yeah.
The Taco Mama is good.
It is good.
It is good.
And I just had my heart set on it, and I'm glad I didn't give up.
Yeah.
So after 30 minutes of driving around, the parking spot opened, and I went in and ate my lunch right by myself, enjoyed it. And I was dry by the time I went out, and it was only sprinkling at that time. Only sprinkling when I went out.
Taco Mama. We never ate it. Was it Culver's or Culver's?
I think it's Culver's. We've never eaten there.
We've never eaten there. It's just Culver's. Culvers.
Culver's.
Culver's.
Oh. We don't know what we're talking about.
It's new. It's kind of relatively new here.
Yeah.
Honestly. That's not something that's been around a while in our area.
We don't know that because it may have been in Birmingham for a while.
I think it's maybe so. Maybe so. You may be right.
They said they never heard of Taco Mama.
I think it's Alabama.
Yes, it's like an Alabama independently owned thing.
Mm-hmm.
But it's good. Good fresh food, and it's got avocado on it, which I love. I love avocado.
Mm-hmm.
That's why I freeze dried the avocado so I could have them readily available for my tacos. And I thought about today, Jason and I usually eat air fried chicken breast for lunch.
Mm-hmm.
And I thought about it today. I said, we don't have any chicken. I might try to air fry you some tilapia and put it in a taco.
Oh yeah, I'm a game for that.
Because if I put some blackening seasoning on it, I think you would like it.
I'm game for that.
I think you would like it. Maybe a little squirt of lime juice.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So anyway,
we don't have any cabbage though, do we?
No.
That's okay though.
We don't have any cabbage.
I like cabbage. I like cabbage on my fish tacos.
They didn't have cabbage on.
They didn't have it on that, really?
It was
slaw.
I don't know what it was.
Well, I guess coleslaw's cabbage though.
Yeah, that is.
Yeah.
Grated cabbage. But it was good, and I enjoyed my lunch, and I'm glad I waited.
Oh, Culver's has great ice creams. What somebody said.
Yes, it's like custard, I think.
Really?
And in my mind, I'm thinking I would love to have some, but I was trying to do good, and I did.
You did.
I did good. As good as I could at the moment, anyway.
Culver's. We have to go there. We have to go there. Everybody's loving it. For the most part, it looks like everybody loves it.
Well, there's not one in Prattville. There's not one in Montgomery. I do have to have some blood work. Let's see. First week of September. And I got to go there. So maybe we could try it.
Frozen custard.
That's what it is. And I think that would be good.
Has the best peach cobbler.
So we're going for the dessert.
Skip the hamburger.
Skip the hamburger.
Yep. They said the service is so friendly.
Huh. Well, the drive-through was around the building, but I guess it's because it was raining.
That's true.
Nobody wanted to go in when it was pouring down rain. Of course, I didn't. But I did. I just braved it.
Culver's.
Yeah, we'll have to give it a try.
Try
the custard. Love the custard.
Custard. Wow.
I wonder if they're all over the U.S.
I think that franchise is expanding.
Okay.
I think it was, they said it started in Wisconsin, and it's expanding. So,
right. You never
I
know.
watched it was I can't remember what it was. It was like a documentary about hamburgers. And that's, if I'm not mistaken, that's the Butterburger.
Well,
And
it
it
said on the
started in this
menu
little,
Butterburger.
it started in this little restaurant, over there that, is your typical mom and pop restaurant. And I guess they've turned it into a chain now, and it's just kind of expanded.
Huh.
Very interesting.
Well, they had fried cod fish,
Mm-hmm.
which I love. But like I said, I was
trying to stay away from the
I
fried.
was trying to do good
Yep.
that day, and I passed on it. But I was in the drive-through. If I had been up at the sign, where you order, I probably would have went ahead and ordered.
Yeah.
But I was way back in the back, so that's the way. But I just wasn't expecting rain.
Great fish sandwiches.
Fish sandwiches. My daddy used to would eat a fish sandwich at McDonald's, and that just does. I've never had it. I've never tried it, and I don't think I am because it just doesn't sound good.
It doesn't sound good at all.
Do they still offer it?
I have no idea.
They made that catchy slogan.
That was
Give
probably
me that fillet of fish.
one of the greatest commercials ever.
Yes.
To this day, I bet everybody remembers that commercial.
We should find it.
Just unbelievable. I'll probably get a copyright strike.
You probably will.
But
very memorable.
One of the greatest commercials ever, right there.
I remember when Mary Carl was little and us playing it for her.
Yes, they still have them at McDonald's.
They do.
Yeah.
Oh, how about that? I've never eaten a McDonald's fish sandwich.
Everybody's saying that Culver's fish sandwich is the bomb.
Well, I'm gonna save up my.
It sounds like we're gonna have to go like 5 or 6 trips to this Culver's and just
or either bring some home with us for the next day.
Oh, we don't have a Jack in the Box.
Nope.
No Jack in the Box.
No Jack in the Box.
They're not around here.
They're not. But I'm telling y'all, I was in the right spot for food because there was a heap of restaurants, just nothing. I just kept going back to wanting that taco.
Yeah, I like that area because that same shopping center has a Duluth.
You know what they had in that parking lot?
What?
That I thought, what is that? And then when I was sitting waiting on my doctor, I Googled it. Hero.
What is that?
Donuts.
Oh, yeah.
And they also had burgers.
Yeah.
But like I said, that wasn't on my. I wasn't aiming for that.
We don't have White Castle either. We got Crystals.
But I ate at White Castle when I went to Kentucky.
It's like Crystals, isn't it?
It was just like Crystals.
Yep.
It didn't. I couldn't tell the difference. Probably could if they were sitting beside each other. But anyway, well, my doctor's appointment was just a yearly checkup with my general doctor. Goodness, I've seen enough doctors in the past year.
Yeah.
But that appointment was made a year ago, so it was just a checkup, and of course, all the blood work that I could have had done had already been done, but he did some cholesterol check and stuff that the other doctors wouldn't be interested in. So all was well.
All was well.
All was well.
You know what I noticed?
What?
Laura never did come on here and say anything about.
Well, you don't know that. You may have missed it.
May have missed it.
You may have missed it. Or Laura may be gone. Laura may have had something she had to do. Most
people are saying White Castle is better
than Crystals.
And White Castle was first. I believe White Castle probably was first.
I can remember Mary Carl being with us, and me and Jason always talking about how good Crystals was. And how he and I, we both just love Crystals.
What's it, them steamy buns?
Steamy buns. So we ordered the Crystals, and we got her one with no onions. And she said it still tasted like an onion.
I probably does.
Probably does.
Somebody said Crystals is much better. I hadn't had White Castles. I couldn't tell you.
I think it's just probably whatever you have. I don't know.
I love Crystals. Reminds me of childhood because that's where we went when I was a kid. We'd stop at Crystals. Like if we went somewhere, which it seems like back when we were kids, if you went to Montgomery, which was where we'd go shopping, right?
Yeah, I always went
You
to
had
Arby's.
2 malls. You had the Montgomery Mall and the Eastdale Mall.
Are you talking about when we were
When
kids,
we were
like
kids.
before we met?
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
We would go to we would go to Crystal's. But if it was, I don't know, if Dad gave Mom a little bonus or something, I don't know. But if it was special, we was going to Shoney's. And that was rare. We'd stop and eat at Shoney's.
But
we would
had
go to
Shoney's
Shoney's
in Selma.
This before Shoney's in Selma.
Oh.
This was like 7, 8, 9, 10 years old.
Okay.
Yeah. Shoney's probably still had the big boy out front. Yeah, we would get that hot fudge brownie cake. And that cake is still good to this day. Oh my gracious.
We ate it somewhere. It was in Moody, Alabama.
Yeah.
Where were we going? We're going to the Atlanta airport.
That's right.
And it reminded us of Shoney's.
It kind of did. That place. Oh my gracious.
It was a buffet.
It was a buffet. And y'all, I bet it had 6 or 7 buffet setups, and each station was different. I have no idea. I can't remember what the place was called.
I can't remember what it was called either.
But I have never seen a buffet like that in my life. Never. It was crazy.
And the dessert buffet was just as great as the lunch selection. It was just everywhere.
I don't know. And it was like a low no chain. I don't know what.
And it had a soft serve ice cream machine.
Yep. Like they used to have at Quincy's.
Yep.
That's another one that's gone. Quincy's. I think I read that there was 1 or 2 Quincy's still out there. But it was rare. That's where the big fat East rolls come from.
It wasn't Golden Corral or anything like that. It was like an independently.
It was independently owned, yeah.
What was it? Somebody said it was in Pell City. Y'all talking about City Market.
Is that it?
Yep, City Market in Pell City. Okay. That's it.
That must be it then.
That was it.
Moody would love to go in there. Talking about Moody.
I made a mistake. I said it was in Moody, but it was obviously in Pell City.
Moody would love, he could have a feast. I mean, their salad bar was even huge. I mean, it was crazy, y'all. It was absolutely crazy. And which was great because, we were just driving and we were just thinking we got to eat somewhere. And, Mary Carl's a little picky. I mean, she's 14. I mean, kids are, like that. And
Jason and I could really care less. So,
yeah,
it worked out for all of us.
It did because it was, it was whatever you liked was in there.
That's
now,
right.
It wasn't the best in the world because it was a buffet, but it was still good for a buffet.
Yeah. Most of the time when we see something that's a buffet, we just kind of.
We didn't know it was a buffet until we went in.
No, we had no idea. We just knew we were hungry and needed something to eat.
Oh, man.
And didn't want to go through a drive-thru.
And you know what? As crowded as it was, it was fast.
It was fast. We figured out when we got back in the car that was probably quicker than going through a drive-thru.
I bet it was. I bet it was. But yeah, Crystals and Shoney's. Shoney's was the treat.
We had Morrison's.
Yeah, as I got older, I would go to Morrison's. But it's like I was with either Granddaddy or Mom never took us to Morrison's.
Do you remember that restaurant outside the Montgomery Mall that was a train?
Oh, yeah.
I remember eating there.
Morrison's and the Piccadilly Cafe were the same too.
Is that right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Huh. That old caboose you ate inside
of it.
That was pretty cool. But it wasn't there for long because when you and I started dating, it wasn't there.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know. We're talking about food way too early.
It's crazy how these lives going.
Yeah.
You never know from 1 minute to the other.
Well, I was thinking about something this morning and I wanted to know if you remembered more about it.
Mm-hmm.
So Mary Carl was not born and I met this lady in Walmart in Selma and she's just by smiling and saying, hey, we led into conversation. And she ended up telling me that she was having some health problems and she had some goats that she needed to rehome. So, being who I was, and we had goats already, I told her we would try to take them.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me the goat's name was Frida.
Mm-hmm.
And she told me that we could come that weekend and come get Frida.
Right.
And I am trying to remember more about that story. So we got there, and she said her name, excuse me, her name was Frida, but she called her Baba. Remember that?
Yeah.
So this lady,
big goat too.
This lady was older, and she was having some health problems.
Yep.
Jason and I were pretty young at the time, and Frida did not want to be caught. No. Remember that?
Yeah.
And do you remember running and chasing her near that creek?
Yeah.
I just could not remember anything about that.
Yeah, and we got her, and she was a big girl. She was big,
and she clacked when she walked.
She clacked when she walked. I don't know if it was her joint. It had either joints or ankles.
And she was an old goat.
Yep.
But goodness, I just cannot remember any more about getting that goat and the situation. Did she not have other animals? Why did we just get her?
She did have, I thought she had a horse too. She had something in there with Frida. I can't remember what it was. I think it was a horse. I think she was getting, somebody was getting a horse too. And
I don't know what made me think about Frida, but I could not remember the situation. I just remember I met her in Walmart. Next thing I know, we're at her house trying to load this goat up that didn't want to go with us.
Yeah. She was gray and white.
She was a strange looking color.
Very strange looking color.
But Frida clacked when she walked.
Wouldn't it be crazy if she was in my memories today?
Yes, it would.
But she's not
well,
there.
Something made me think about her, and I just cannot get her out of my mind. I know she was in Plantersville. Remember that?
Mm-hmm.
And we were in the middle of nowhere chasing this goat through the woods. I think we had in our mind that she would be contained when we got there, but she wasn't contained. She was on the loose. You're not going to find Frida. You're not going to find Frida.
Nope. But look at here, though. There's Calypso.
Huh. How about that?
Or Pasifina horse.
Oh, my goodness, y'all.
This was in my memories. That is the little Pasifina horse we got. Calypso. Right there.
She was young, as you can see.
Very young.
What happened to Frida? I do not remember.
Well, we had Mary Carl was born, and Mary Carl really didn't care about the goats. This was way before YouTube. But
I think Frida passed away.
No, we found a good home for all our goats, and they took them all.
Is that what happened?
Yeah. They came and got all our goats except the 2 fainting goats we had, and those went to Julie, and they come and got all the rest of the goats.
Okay.
And they had that big pasture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because at the time, our goat pen was full of grass when we built it, but it didn't take very long for that goat pen to turn into dirt. So everything our goats ate was hay and grain, which was not the ideal situation. We needed for them to have a pasture. And that's why we bought this place.
Yeah, we wanted more room for our animals.
And
we did.
I probably shouldn't say this, but I don't think our grass is ever going to turn to all dirt.
No.
No matter how many animals we have here, I don't think it's going to happen.
I want to show y'all how long ago it was when we had Calypso. Look at that little thing right there.
With her cowboy boots on.
Cowboy boots on.
And her pigtails.
Oh, me.
And we had a round pen for Calypso that.
Yeah, I was working her. She was a sweet horse. She really was. But no Frida.
No
that wouldn't
Frida.
Have been something.
It would have been, because I'm just telling you, I can't even really remember what she looked like. I just remember she was gray. And
I can't remember her head was white, and she was real dark gray in the back, but it kind of faded and speckled.
A weird color.
Very weird. Very weird. To be honest, she was not a pretty goat.
Well, I don't know. Something about being in the milk
She
room
had
this
this to
morning
do.
reminded me
Really?
of her. What breed was she?
She was a Nubian.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah. Frida was a Nubian.
Frida was a Nubian.
Mm-hmm. Sure was.
Well, I didn't think that we had Earl and Frida at the same time.
I think Earl may have passed away by then.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm pretty certain Earl had passed away by then.
And maybe that's why we liked Earl so, because no, that would have been backwards. Never mind.
Okay.
Something this morning about Capri reminded me of Frida. And it definitely wasn't that I milked Frida, because I didn't. But she was a big girl.
Yeah.
And I cannot tell y'all how good Capri looks. She looks so much better. I took a picture of her the other day, and I was going to show it to Laura, but it really wasn't any comparison to what the position I had her in previously. And, I mean, you can't tell nothing.
No, you can't tell nothing.
So I didn't share it with Laura, but I am so satisfied with the way she looks. The alfalfa hay, the drench that I've been using, and the calf manna. She loves that stuff. She loves that calf manna. And she's gotten to where, well, she wasn't even eating on the stand.
Yeah.
She gotten to where she wouldn't eat on the stand, and that was concerning. She'd eat off the stand, but now she eats on the stand. So
that's funny.
Looking a lot better. And I will tell you that while I've been getting 2 quarts of milk this whole time, I'm getting like 2 quarts and a half a cup now.
So she's
producing more milk for whatever reason. I don't know why. I guess maybe she's just improved her health a little bit to where she's no, it's not a replay. Somebody said it was a replay. It's not a replay. We are live.
We're live.
Well, here I am saying that, and somebody that watches it on a replay is going to be like,
that's true. Why don't Snow White can't fly because she can't see?
Well,
yeah, she's
her wings aren't clipped, and she isn't pinioned, but
she could get out if she wanted to, but yeah, she
it's evident that she doesn't.
She can't see, and so she's just comfortable. I think she just feels more safe and comfortable like that. I've seen a lot of people ask, "Can we put her in the aviary?" And I just don't know.
I wouldn't feel comfortable because the Victorian crown pigeons are ground dwellers.
Yeah.
And to put something else that was a ground dweller in there with them.
And they're kind of the same size. I don't know if they would fight. That's something I would worry about.
Well, she's not going to defend herself.
No,
I don't think.
She's not. She's not.
I just don't think it'd be a good idea.
And I've seen a lot of people ask, why don't we take James Bird, Scott Jr., and put her in there? Because he wouldn't stay in there.
He would have no desire to stay.
He would just jump right on out in the blink of an eye if he wanted to. And I know
he's a mama's boy.
And he would be gone.
He would be back to following his mama around.
Yeah. We'll figure it out, though. We'll figure it out.
You know, I've thought, wonder what she would like as a friend.
Yeah.
Wonder what, it's got to be something that can't fly.
It's got to be something that can't fly. And I think it needs to be roughly close to her size.
Yeah.
I don't know. Well, I'd say that. I mean, we could try putting a Silky in there with her. I just don't know if she's going to be curious and pick. I mean, Silkies, they can't defend themselves at all.
Yeah, I thought about a goose.
Yeah, you told me about a goose.
I thought about a goose, but of course it's not time for babies, and I only want to put a baby in there. I don't want to start from an adult that's been around other geese, because then it might be like, why you put me in here with this thing?
Yeah.
So I think a baby goose might be a good try.
Might try that. A lot of people are saying geese or goose before we even sit.
Really?
Yep.
Huh. I think a goose. Well, it might be, next season before we give it a try, but she's perfectly fine, y'all. You can tell that she's happy. She lays eggs, obviously, and she's eating well.
Yeah, I mean, she seems very content. I mean, this is pretty good. I don't know. Somebody said Peaches. Peaches can't fly. What Sue Slaughter said.
Peaches can't fly. Peaches can't fly, but Peaches got an attitude, and I would not want that attitude to be shoved off on.
I'm gonna tell y'all, Peaches is enjoying these cooler mornings now. That girl is moving.
And one thing about Peaches is Snow White has food all the time.
Oh, that's true. Peaches would devour that.
Peaches would love to have some laying pellets,
Gone.
and it wouldn't be good for her.
It would be gone.
What about
quick.
a turkey?
That's a
Turkeys can fly though.
Yeah, they could. A male turkey though, I don't know. The hormones may kick in with him though.
Yeah, and he's gonna strut. And
aren't geese aggressive?
If there's two males, or
the
if
males,
there's a male and a female when it's breeding season, the male's going to be aggressive.
Yeah,
but not.
We'll see though.
People get the concept that all geese are aggressive, and that's not true.
And they're usually only aggressive during breeding season, and so which is half the year though, I think. But I don't know, 4 to 6 months out of the year. Once that's over with, then they're not. Yeah, not so mean anymore.
That's right. And ours are not really mean during that time. They're focused on their mate.
But they will hiss and come in. My experience has been, and y'all take this with a grain of salt, but with our geese, and this is our domesticated geese, this isn't no wild goose, but if you stand your ground, they typically will back off.
Yeah, it's when you're scared of them, and you turn around and take off running, they gonna run after you.
Yeah.
Cheese is not mean. No, he's not mean. I had a couple of times during breeding season where he kind of nibbled at me, and it caught me off guard because he had never done anything like that before. But I think it was just that time of year.
Yeah, it could have been breeding season. And
be like cheese. That's right. Be like cheese.
Yeah, ducks are so nasty though. Geese are not near as nasty as a duck is.
That's right.
I mean, really not at all, y'all. We would have to clean up wherever they were constantly if we had a duck in there.
That's right.
Oh my gracious.
And it needs to eat the same food as what she does. So a rabbit wouldn't work because obviously a rabbit needs rabbit food and peacock needs, laying pellets. But so it's got to be something. But we'll experiment. I don't want to go out and buy anything just for the sake of putting it in with her to see if she'll like it or not. But when we have something that hatches, we will take the opportunity to see if Snow White might want a friend.
We'll see. We'll see.
What if she hatched a goose egg?
I was thinking that. Or if she was sitting and we slipped a baby goose under her.
Or even a chick.
Or a chick.
That might work.
Yeah.
I'm sure that I could put an egg in there. But she never tried to sit on her eggs. And I think it's because it was never a clutch. We always took them out one by one because we didn't want anything coming in there trying to get her eggs. I don't know if she would sit if it wasn't a clutch. You know what I mean? Peacocks are.
I think so too.
And I sure don't need her to have 6 or 10 friends.
Yeah.
She only really needs one friend.
Mike's gonna slip an emu egg under.
Oh yeah. That would be interesting.
Her feet be dangling off the ground.
That's true. And Goldie hasn't laid, by the way. They were acting really weird this morning.
Were they?
So there's a immature oak tree in their pasture.
Yeah.
And it was like they were feeding each other.
There ain't no
It was weird. I came this close to going in the pasture to see what they were, putting their beak down at. They were doing like this, and they do like this together.
Mm-hmm.
And I watched them for a few minutes, and I thought, what in the world? And then they stopped. I don't know what they were doing. It was weird.
It is
something I've never seen before.
Just the fact that them two are that close now is mind-blowing.
I'm so happy that they get along and they like each other. It's you're not going to see one without the other.
Mind-blowing. For the longest time, if you research and talk to other people that have dealt with emus, the thing is that females are mean and aggressive. The female emu.
Right. And that's why we were hesitant to even think about adding a female to Nugget, because we didn't want to take away from his, just so loving personality. We thought if something mean came in, then it might change him. And we didn't want to take that chance. But it just happened for the best.
Yep.
Goldie's not mean at all. Not in the least.
Not in the least.
Now, she's not nearly as sweet as Nugget.
Mm-hmm.
I can only imagine what Goldie must think, because when we go in there, Nugget wants loving. He's immediately gonna hit the ground, you know. He wants you to pet on him and love on him. And Goldie's walking around back there, and I bet her thoughts are, what are you doing that for?
Mama's boy.
Yeah. Teasing him.
But she's back there.
Yeah. She's standing right nearby going,
and doing that strut.
Yep. Doing her strut.
And I can always tell when she's fixing to hit that drum, she points that beat down. She's just like that.
They are quite characters.
Yeah. So much so. Oh my gracious. It still blows my mind that they're, because he did not like her at first.
He did not.
And it wasn't like that, you know, a couple of days or a couple of weeks and they were buddies. It was months.
Well, to me, it's after she laid the eggs and after he sat.
Yep.
When he got up and they were back together,
yep.
It's like, we love each other.
That's when it clicked.
It took that for them to become, I don't know what they are.
They are buddies, I can tell you.
We've never seen any activity between the two of them, but I read that it happens at night. In private. It happens at night. So, you know, that's something we may never see. And that's okay. That's okay. But they are happy. Very happy. Just amazing.
Gosh, somebody asked me, was Lester still mad at me? He hasn't texted me in a couple of days.
About the garden?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
Lester got to clean that garden out, didn't he?
Yeah.
Get it prepared.
Lester, he's going to turn into a gardener.
He is.
Look at him out there. He's going to turn into a gardener. Yeah.
Well, it might be like me and you. You know, I'm like Lester. You know, I help you. I'll do what you need me to do, but it's just not my interest. And that's kind of like Jamie. You know, Jamie's you. I'm Lester. Not to say he won't.
Yep.
He won't change.
Y'all, you know, sometimes I get a little worried when Lester sends me a message and says, "Hey, will you do this for me?"
You never know
I don't know what he's thinking.
What the outcome.
I don't know what video he's coming out with sometimes. I don't know.
You never know, do you?
Oh, me.
Tony is Brooke and Catherine's Jason.
That's right.
That's right. It takes all kinds. Not everybody enjoys the same things.
Speaking of, we got to go get that Dutch oven sometime.
Oh yeah.
We do.
I thought you were going to say we got to go get Big John.
No, we're not Big John. Got to get the Big Dutch.
Big Dutch.
And not keeping it Dutch, the cast iron Dutch.
That was interesting, wasn't it? Goodness gracious. Well, I'm not done with my coffee because honestly, it was just too hot. I came in the door from being outside and told Jason 8 o'clock's good with me, and 7:59 coffee was being made. So I'm not done with it, but I'm going to be done with it. I'm going to be done with it.
I'm almost done with mine this morning.
Well, I'm not. I mean, mine is up here, but I'm going to chug it when we get off of here.
That's a lot of coffee.
It is. Well, I'm going to do it because I love it.
Oh,
I love it.
Me.
So we're going to go see if Mary Carl wants to head over to
Go canoeing.
The canoe only has 2 seats.
But I ordered a third.
But Monday, I asked you yesterday when the 3rd canoe seat was going to come, and it'll be here Monday.
But if you want to go, we can figure something out.
No, I'm not sitting in the bottom of the canoe.
We get like a chair or something.
I might do my fishing license online and go throw a hook while y'all canoe around.
Okay.
My fishing license is expired. I'm not fishing without a license.
All our fishing license. Mary Carl didn't have to have one, did she?
No.
Did she have to have one?
No.
Okay.
No fishing license for Mary Carl.
Yeah.
I've never seen anybody catch a fish there, though. I've seen a lot of people fish, but never.
They're there because when we were canoeing last time, you could see them all in there.
Well, I want a big fish, though. I don't want anything little.
I don't know.
I want a Michael Key fish. Maybe I'll go over to Selma and fish with Michael and y'all can canoe. We'll be halfway there anyway. Right?
That's right.
Oh, goodness. So I'll have a video out Sunday.
Yep.
Back to a video on Monday and a Tuesday live is the plan. I got a gnat flying around me. You see it?
Mm-mm. I see it.
Now he thinks it. Goodness gracious.
Oh, goodness.
All right. So
y'all have the best Saturday ever, and y'all be good.
Here goes.
Is it still hot?
Mm-hmm.